next speaker is Dr. DALIA M KAMEL. Her talk is titled Hand Grip Strength, Body Mass Index, and Anthropometric Measurements Among Female University Students, Preliminary Data in Bahrain. Dr. DALIA, please take the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. Professors on board, ladies and gentlemen, I'll present my research, which is entitled Hand Grip Strength, Body Mass Index, and Anthropometric Measurements Among Female University Students, Preliminary Data in Bahrain. Firstly, I want to highlight about my co-authors. I can say they were one day my students, and proudly I can call them my colleagues right now. So the main concern in this research was about the hand, and I want to give you an idea about the hand, actually interesting facts. The hand is a most complex tool in the body of the human being, and it represents about 1% of the total body size. And despite of this, it consists of 27 bones. It's supplied by 3 nerves, the radial nerve, median nerve, and ulnar nerve. And it's controlled and moved by 35 muscles. And about 1/4 of the motor cortex, which is a part of the brain responsible for the movement, about 1/4 of it is devoted only for the muscles of the hand. And it consists of 123 ligaments in the hand. All of these structures are collaborating together to provide our main function of the hand, which is a gripping activity. It's a basic function for our daily activity. So if you wanted to measure the strength of the hand grip, it can be done through a very simple and economic test, which is called hand grip strength. And this test can be applied with this simple instrument, which is called hand dynamometer, and it's almost available in every health facility. This hand dynamometer gave us an idea about the strength of the hand, but as well, it's a reflection about the strength of the total muscular system of the individual. As well, it gives us a practical information about the muscle, nerve, bone, or joint disorder. So the hand grip strength can be a predictive tool or test for different health conditions. For example, a decrease in hand grip strength is associated with pathological condition called sarcopenia. And this sarcopenia is a reduction of the muscle mass and decrease of the muscle strength and performance. As well, there is a strong relation between reduced hand grip strength and increasing mortality from cardiovascular diseases and from cancer. Another research has related the normal values of hand grip strength to the normal bone mineral density in postmenopausal women. So in other words, if we have decreased hand grip strength, this can be a predictive values for osteoporosis. Hand grip strength can be affected with different factors which may manipulate its values. Like, for example, the age. If we have advancement of the age, there will be decrease in the hand grip strength. As well, the gender. By default, the men have a higher hand grip strength in comparison to women. We have different anthropometric measurements which can manipulate the values of hand grip strength, like the total arm length, the upper arm length, the forearm length, the circumferences, the skin fold thickness, and many other anthropometric measurements. As well, the different angles that we measure from the hand grip strength, as the angles from the shoulder, elbow, wrist, forearm, if we have pronation, supination of the arm, and etc. As well, the total body posture, if we are measuring this test from standing position or from sitting position. Interesting point about the dominance. If we have right-handed people or left-handed people, the dominant is more stronger than the non-dominant hand. Another interesting factor, which is occupation, because sometimes the occupation has a positive impact, and in some other times it has a negative impact on the hand grip strength. And the lifestyle, if we are sedentary people or active people, may affect the hand grip strength. Then lastly, the body mass index, which is considered as a significant contributor to the hand grip strength. Most of you maybe know about the hand grip strength, which can be measured by dividing the total body weight by kg over the total height of the individual in meter square. So the unit of body mass index is kg per meter square. And we have worldwide classification, which is starting from underweight, normal weight BMI, then going to the overweight. And if we reach the body mass index 30 kg per meter square, this is considered class 1 obesity. Then going to class 2, and class 3, which is considered as morbid obesity with high morbidity and mortality rate, and it ranges between 40 to 49.9. There is assumption in the literature that if we have low BMI, so we have low mass of the fat and the muscles, and by consequence we will have a low hand grip strength. And the vice versa, if we're going to the extreme values of the BMI, this means that we have higher mass of the fat, of the muscles, and there are characteristic changes in the histology and morphology of the muscles, which is increasing its strength. So by the end, we'll have higher hand grip strength. This is the assumption, but sometimes it's a tricky part, because BMI with higher values, we don't know if this higher value is due to high mass content or high fat content. So based on the aforementioned facts, we developed the aim of this study, which actually two aims: that describe normative data for hand grip strengths among the Bahraini female population, as well investigating the relationship between BMI and some anthropometric measurements with the hand grip strengths. And in order to do this, we set out our inclusion and exclusion criteria. For exclusion criteria, we excluded people who were using their both hands in writing, the female with current pregnancy, and the females with sickle cell anemia, and if they have any recent injuries or operation in their hands. So we ended up with 77 females, Bahraini female college students. Their age ranged between 18 to 25 years old. And their outcomes were the hand grip strength for both dominant and non-dominant hands, as well as BMI, total arm length, mid-upper arm circumference, and dominance with lifestyle. And here in this table, I want to show you the results that we had by the end, which I'll start with the bottom two rows, which showing the hand grip strength for both dominant and non-dominant. As you can see, the average values for dominant hand was 22.2 kg, and the non-dominant hand was 18.98. And we compared between dominant and non-dominant, and there was a significant difference in favoring for the dominant hand, which was higher or stronger than the non-dominant by about 14.5% percentage, which is in supporting with the literature. But when we compared these values of Bahraini sample to another populations with matching of the gender and age grouping, the Bahraini females population showed lower values in comparison to other population. For example, Australian population showed 30 kg, Brazilian showed 27 kg, Nigerian and Malaysian showed about 25 kg. So by the end, the female Bahraini population showed lower values in comparison to other population.
3 minutes, Doctor.
Which actually raised a concern that there is a decrease in the usage of the muscular system, and if we don't have a strong awareness and prophylactic treatment, by the end maybe this population will develop a sarcopenia, as I mentioned earlier. About the anthropometric measurement, the mid-upper arm circumference, total arm length, they showed normal values within, in comparison to other population, and showed a significant correlation with the hand grip strength for both dominant and non-dominant. For the BMI, most of our sample, about 60%, showed a normal BMI within the 24 kg per meter square. But we have a clustration about different classification of BMI and their correlation with the hand grip strength, as you can see on the right side. There was a positive correlation between increasing of the BMI with the hand grab strength till we reached the class 1 obesity, which showed a reduction in the hand grab strength. And then going dramatically increased when we reached class 2 obesity, scoring 28.7. Then again going down to score 23 in the class 3 obesity. And class 3 obesity still, despite its decrease, it showed higher values in comparison to the normal BMI participants, which is supported, as I mentioned earlier, increasing of the fat and muscle content. The hand grab strength showed non-significant difference with the keyboard usage hours, with the lifestyle, with the skillful hand hoppies and handedness. It's the last one. Last one.
Yeah, 1 minute, okay?
Okay.
I'll make
Only
you
one
happy.
slide.
1 minute.
The key findings of this research that the hand grab strength showed significant correlation with BMI, hand dominance, total arm length, mid-upper arm circumference, and showed non-significant relationship with keyboard usage, as I mentioned earlier. So the addition of this research that gave us a reference values about average of hand grab strength of Bahraini female youth, which can be used in the rehabilitation program for hand injuries, as well as clarification of another factors that may contribute to the hand grab strength. I want to end up my presentation with a nice quote about the hand, that the fragrance always remains in the hand that gives the rose. Thank you.
We have one more questions for Dr. Dalia, to be fair. So anyone want to ask Dr. Dalia? Otherwise, I will ask. Okay, Anna, I will ask, to be fair. Your study says it's a preliminary data. And it's a very nice study. I looked at it. I have two issues here, two things I like to know from you. One is, which kind of occupations you could say is the worst when it comes to affecting the strength of the hand? And the second part of the question is, since it's preliminary, so what's next? Thank you. 2 minutes.
Yes, thank you, Professor Mukhtar. Regarding the occupation, as I said, it's sometimes positively impacted and sometimes negatively impacted. Regarding the negatively impacted occupation, especially the handheld tools occupations, that they are using tools, especially with vibration, so it affects the nervous system, circulatory system, and the muscular system. So by the end, they will have like overuse dystrophy or atrophy, a weakness of the muscles. That's why sometimes occupation is negatively impacted. Yes, the academic, it will not be affected like the people with handheld tools, but we should take care about using the keyboard because it's a cumulative trauma, and by the end, yes, it can cause, as he's doing like this, the carpal tunnel syndrome. Yes. Next part of your question, Professor Mukhtar, regarding, we mentioned in the title, it was a preliminary data. I was planning to say it in my presentation, but due to the time limit, actually we are conducting a larger scale study right now. It's a research collaboration between Ahlia University and another two respected institute here in Bahrain to collect normative data about the hand grab strengths for the young people between 11 to 19 years old, and actually tomorrow we are going for a next round of data collection. So we are planning to have at least a database or normative data for every Bahraini adult. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Upon this, I would like to close the sessions. Before that, I would like to thank my colleague, Dr. Rashida, for her, being the
And now I would like to ask Professor Abdullah Al-Hawaj to please join the stage with Professor Alam Ahmed to give certificates of appreciation to our speakers. Dr. DALIA M KAMEL.